Reporting to YouTube. I'm live. I don't know how long this stream is going to last, folks. We have B&B guests checking in after 3 p.m. But it could be any time after 3 p.m. It is currently 3 p.m. here Pacific time. Current temperature 22.5 degrees Celsius, 59.2% humidity, and just an absolutely awesome day. So this is the first time I've actually sat down all day. I've been that busy out in the garden. I've been working down in the nursery. Wendy and I went to town this morning, got some potatoes, and got some oyster mushrooms and regular mushrooms for the steak we're going to barbecue today. Hopefully I don't offend you vegetarians out there, vegans, but we do like steak here. So hope you're all having a great day. This is the last of my short vacation, and then I'm back to work tomorrow for a few days, and then I'm off for a couple of weeks again. So stay tuned for some videos and possibly some live streaming from the far west coast of the Big Island. Wendy told me I should be bringing my computer there and doing some live streamings from Tofino. What do you think of that? Excuse me, I'm eating my lunch. So drove past the lake today this morning, and people out there swimming, test the water. Very warm, very, very water. So that one particular lake is pretty shallow. I think it's about 90 feet deep in the middle of it. St. Mary Lake. So it keeps its warmth quite a ways, even into autumn. And there was a few people on the beach and then a couple people out there diving off the dock. And yeah, if I had time, it would be nice to take a dip in the lake, but I'm too busy around here. So I missed you guys so much. I had to do another live stream. I don't know if you checked out the latest video I shared in the group, People Who Love Palm Trees and Exotic Plants. I also shared it on my Facebook page. And it was Emma, the urban botanist, who visited our garden a few weeks back. We shot some videos of her in here too, but she shot a lengthy video and then she put it all together. She edited it. She's very good at editing. So you can check that video out of the urban botanist, Emma from Ottawa, who visited Salt Spring Island for the very first time in her life. And I think she said she's coming back to Vancouver in October. So I told her to make her way to Salt Spring Island, and then we can give her a better tour of the island. See, she only toured our garden. I'd like to take her to some other exotic gardens on Salt Spring Island, because I know of some very nice palmy gardens here on this rock. So it looks like we have an extended summer here on the Southern Gulf Islands. It's absolutely. I was down in the lower 40 there, in the back 40, spreading some palm seeds around, because you know that's what I like to do. So I spread several thousand palm seeds around in the back forest there, and we'll just let Mother Nature take its course and let them germinate. So hope your palms are flourishing today, and stay tuned for daily uploads here. And I'm not going to miss a beat, even when I'm in Tofino on the west coast. You will see some big cordylines. Cordylines grow monster size on our west coast, just like the Oregon coast and the Washington coast. The west coast winters are some of the mild land. And when I mean the land, I mean this far north of the 49th, north of the U.S., here in the North Pacific. The mildest growing region in the Pacific Northwest would be Brookings, Oregon, and Gold Beach. And north of that, if you want to grow date palms, they are going to need some help when it gets really ugly cold, and Washingtonias. But where I'm going over to the west coast, I will shoot a video for you all to enjoy of a Phoenix canariensis that is not protected in the winter, and it's been growing in a garden, a friend of mine's garden, for several years. He has some big butias in his garden, camarops, jubaeas, all that other good stuff. I think he's got needle palms too. I'm eating hummus with these really good crackers. And if Wendy doesn't get her fanny perpendicular over here fast, I'm going to eat it all up. Because you know what it's like when you start eating a bag of chips or something, you can't stop. And that's how good this is. These are like super healthy crackers. They're not chips, they're crackers. But they're really good with the hummus. So I got the patio umbrella up. I see Wendy's drying something in the patio umbrella there. She's drying some plants up in that patio umbrella. Kahu, come here. You want to say hi? Come on. You want to say hi? here. I don't know if he wants to say. You want to come here? Like say hi? Dog's watching me. Dog had a nice road trip yesterday to Port Renfrew. I'm really upset we didn't get to go to the Botanical Beach and the Avatar Forest. There's a ancient trees in it, a couple thousand years old, called the Avatar Grove. And you know what? It was on our list, but I totally forgot. It totally slipped my mind when we were there. Too busy throwing palm seeds around. When I go to Tofino, I will be throwing some palm seeds around too, because that's what I like to do. We will also go south of Tofino to Ucluelet, where there are some beautiful big cordylines. And I know there's palm trees hiding in people's gardens. You know what? There's more cordylines than palm trees on the West Coast. It seems to be the tree of choice. And if you've seen my videos on Tofino, you know what I'm talking about. They are trees. To me, a Cordyline australis, or a New Zealand cabbage tree, is a mild winter indicator plant. So if you can grow a Cordyline australis in your garden without protection, and it can mature, and it can be there for the long term, then you are living in a mild winter climate. Okay? There are on our island where they do freeze. Matter of fact, this past winter, the big one growing in front of Central Hall froze to the ground. Trunk onto this big. Jane Tang, aloha. How are you doing? So the big cordyline at the Central Hall fire station froze to the ground. It has a trunk like this. I planted it years ago. It got really big and then it froze in 2008. So this is the second time it has frozen down. December 2008, and it has froze this past January. We had a cold snap here. All of our cordylines are fine, but there's another one growing beside our parks office where our maintenance workers offices. That one also froze too, and it was right next to the building. So it goes to show you how cold it was there. Also, some Mexican orange. It froze down right beside Rainbow. Maybe the B&B guests are here already. It froze down beside Rainbow Pool right up against the building, but yet the Trachycarpus palms are perfectly fine. So anyway, Jane, I hope you're having a nice palmy and balmy day there in the Hawaiian Islands. It is about 72.5 degrees Fahrenheit here currently, and 3:08 p.m. Pacific time with 59.2% humidity here in the North Pacific on our island. So it's a beautiful day here, beautiful autumn day on Salt Spring Island. Excuse me, I'm eating my lunch, which consists of hummus, lots of garlic in that, and chickpeas, and crackers. So I really look forward to going back to Hawaii again. Like I said, not this year, but I would like to make a special trip to Waikiki and stay there for maybe a few days, maybe a week, and then stay a few weeks over in Maui. But it ain't going to be this year. I'll tell you that. With all that's going on in the world, I really don't know if I want to travel right now. And the problem is when I come back here, then I got to quarantine for 2 weeks. So that's not really a good thing. It doesn't fit in with my work schedule very much. I only get a certain amount of holidays. I mean, I can take them anytime throughout the year, but I like to take them in the winter. Maybe one day. Wendy's been there. There's more to offer to me on Oahu and Maui. I've never really had a desire to go to the Big Island, but maybe one day. I don't know what the future holds. And same with Kauai. I don't think there would be enough for me to do there. I think I would probably be bored, so I'd only be able to stay there a few days. On Maui, there's a lot of things for me to do. On Oahu, there's a lot of things for me to do. On the Big Island, I don't know. It's pretty big and spread out. I mean, I would probably like to go up and see the mountains and see the vegetation that grows up the sides of the mountains as you increase in elevation, kind of like Haleakala. And it's kind of like here on Salt Spring Island. It's so quiet here. And to get major activities, we like you want to go to big stores and things like that. We got to go to the Big Island. We go to Vancouver Island because we don't have that here in Salt Spring. So on Maui has everything I want. Oahu has everything I want. Kauai, I know it's the Garden Island. It's absolutely beautiful. There's some beaches, but it's a pretty, maybe more laid back and more quiet than Maui. So maybe one day I will check out the other islands. Um, and the Big Island would probably be one of them, and then would have to go to Kauai. But I think I want to go back to Waikiki first, and so I can go to Lion Arboretum because we really like Lion Arboretum. There are full of Palm, Big Island, and black sand. Yeah, the black sand beaches are beautiful. There is actually a black sand beach near Hana over on Maui. It's pretty neat. I do have video, or there might even be on my other YouTube channel, but it's pretty cool. The black sand beach, Maui. I don't know if there's any beaches on Oahu, but I know the black sand beach at Kalapana on the Big Island because I have a big photograph, a poster that I bought in Hawaii many moons ago, and I got it dry mounted and framed, and it's on my wall in my man cave. And I heard most of that beach by lava quite a few years ago when Kilauea was spewing its innards out, and that was the end of that beach. But there's also a botanical garden on Kauai because a good friend of mine and his wife live on Kauai near Poipu, and he works in the botanical garden, and she works for Tommy Bahamas. They used to live on this island, and they moved to Hawaii about 5 or 6 years ago, and they're on Kauai, and they absolutely love it. He lived here for more than 30 years. I think her as well, Bonnie. And he was a gardener here, and now he's a gardener there, and he had a dual citizenship, so it was easy for him to move to Hawaii. She was Canadian, so he had to do a little red tape paperwork to get her over there, but they both live on the island of Kauai around Poipu Beach. And he's my friend on Facebook, and so is she. So they're always posting pictures where they are, and of course, the beaches. And I have a friend, his mom worked in the botanical garden there too. She's retired now, Sonia, but friend of mine as well. I know her, and she'd come here and visit, but she lives in Kauai as well. Yeah, I heard it's one of the oldest islands as well. One of the first formed, right? Isn't that cool? Very interesting. There's so many islands, okay? So the islands that people know are Oahu, Kauai, Maui, Niihau, Lanai, Kaho'olawe, um, Molokai, and the Big Island, Hawaii, right? Did I miss anything? There are minor islands farther out. As you go out into the Hawaiian island chain, I really don't know the names of those islands. But then there's Midway and Johnson Atoll, which I also think are part of the Hawaiian Islands, correct? If you go farther out into the Hawaiian island chain. But the most popular ones, of course, are the ones that I mentioned. I guess you live in Hawaii, you've probably been to all the islands. The funny thing is, I live here in the Southern Gulf Islands, and I have not been to all of the. I've never been to Saturna Island. I've been to Galiano. I've set foot on Maine, but I've never explored it. And I've been to Pender Island, and I've been to Prevost Island. I've been to the Bay a couple of times in Prevost Island, of course, Salt Spring Island. And I'm trying to think what other. There's Saturna, Maine, Galiano, Pender. There's North Pender, South Pender. They're connected by a little bridge. Prevost, and then there's this island as well. And then there's Northern Gulf Islands. We're the most southern Gulf Islands, but there are Northern Gulf Islands as well. And it is all a Mediterranean-like climate here on the island. So in a rain shadow, our islands are in a rain shadow. So less annual rainfall, less annual precipitation, and more sunshine in the surrounding areas. And often you can see clouds, dark clouds around in the distance, and blue sky over top. I got a good video I shot of us flying over the Southern Gulf Islands in a jet plane, and you can see the blue sky all over the Gulf Islands and just masses of cloud cover all the way around it. It's actually a really cool video. You should watch it. Flying over the Southern Gulf Islands, a rain shadow. Koa is only found in Kauai, Oahu, Lanai, Molokai, Maui. That is cool. That is very interesting. Yes, I have to look up those seeds, Jane. I have to look up the hardiness and the seeds of the koa wood and maybe do some experimenting here on Salt Spring Island. If not at our place, they don't work here. There are slightly milder locations than this. When you're traveling, spreading palm trees locally, what are you spreading? We spread Trachycarpus fortunei. We spread hybrid seeds. So Trachycarpus is the palm of choice here on the North Pacific, the Pacific coast of Canada. Okay, they are foolproof. They're a long-term palm, and they can thrive and grow year-round here. So I like those because they all germinate readily when you spread them around in the forest or chuck them around on the side of the road. So that's what I chuck around. And if they're in abundance, the seed, I got lots of seeds. So never an issue of me spreading thousands of seed around here and there and everywhere. If I chuck sable seed around, it's going to take a lot longer to germinate, and it's going to want full-on hot sun. I actually do have a few sable minor seedlings that have germinated, seeds that have germinated down by the nursery, where I was potting stuff up and dropped a few. And there are sable minors that have actually germinated here. But yeah, they grow slower, of course, than Trachycarpus fortunei. But once again, they are a foolproof palm and require more heat units to put on growth. But coldest winters here are not going to bother them, right? So don't have to worry about them getting damaged or killed in the winter. It's just the growth is slower than T. fortunei. These things here, show you something. And Butia. These grow year round. This is a new frond here. They don't stop growing in our climate. And they always look good. Trachycarpus fortunei always look good. And they grow big here too. Yeah, Butia. We have Butia. I don't throw seeds around, but we do have Butia. Butia is kind of a funny palm. Hello, Bastar. Good to see you in there. I find with Butia, in a really bad winter, they are prone to spear damage or spear loss if you're not in the right growing zone. Okay, this far north, they want to be in a mild area. You know what I mean? And it's every so often you get a bad freeze, and it seems like water or something gets down the center there and freezes the center, and then they lose the spears. Yeah, we have mule palms. We have a few mule palms in the garden. We have Cyrus cross Butia, and then we have a couple of Butia cross Jubea. Rarely get fog here. Rarely get fog on Salt Spring Island. It'd be in the winter months. It's funny, on the Oregon coast, it's in the summer months, and on the far west coast of Vancouver Island, it's in the summer months. If we get fog, it's usually in the winter months, but it can happen. But it doesn't linger around a long time. It's quite a bit different. You got to remember, our islands are on the inner south coast. Look at the location of the Southern Gulf Islands, and you'll see. Where, like I say, same archipelago is the Washington State San Juan Islands. Just an imaginary line that separates us. I think Butia like temperatures to be really hot. They grow naturally and flat. Yeah, there's some big ones here on the southwest coast. There are big Butias growing here. Been in the ground more than 25 years, no protection. So, but they grow. They'll even grow like this one here. I think this one's been outside for 4 years, something like that. I bought this at Home Depot. I'll move this chair so you can see it better. Bought this one at Home Depot really cheap, and it was in a pot outside for the first few years. Then I planted it here. I guess it was in the spring I planted this one here, and it's grown quite a bit. And I think they grow at a pretty moderate rate here. I remember a friend of mine here on Salt Spring Island, he planted Butia aerospatha, and it grew so fast at his place in Ganges. Planted as a small plant, and it got really big, had a nice big trunk on it. Then he moved, so he asked me to help him dig it out with his grandson. And we dug that out, and now it's growing in James Bay area of Victoria. So Jubea, too, is very hardy here. Jubea is much more cold hardy for a pinhead species over Butia palms, okay? So if you live in an area like this, I think you're better off to grow Jubea. If you get slightly colder temperatures that a Butia won't like, stick a Jubea in, and it will blow it away in the cold hardiness rating, that's for sure. Yeah, there's a Canary Island date palm over the side here, but it's a small one. They are short-term here, I find. I do know of a couple of pretty nice ones growing on our coast. Next week, I'm going to try to do a live stream when I'm over on the far west coast, but I'm going over to Tofino, and I know of a nice Phoenix canariensis growing in my friend's garden. He planted quite a few years ago, and it's getting some nice size to it now, and it's right out in the open. And that is Zone 9A area. I also know of a very big one growing just southeast of Vancouver. You can see videos of it here. The trunk is probably just about as big as me and massive, tall as me and massive. I don't think it's even dry enough for Jubea to be grown on that. Yeah, they're here. They're fully hardy here. Jubeas. There's some big ones on our southwest coast. Or isn't it long dry to rot? Yeah. Yeah, the only place you're going to go Jubea chilensis in Canada without protection is here, and certain areas along the Pacific coast. Islands are good. Out here in the islands are good. And Mr. Joe, checking in, Paul the man. How's it going out there from my old stomping grounds? Langley and White Rock were my old stomping grounds. Even though I lived in Southwest Langley, I spent a lot of time in White Rock. We used to beach in the cars. You know what I mean? And most of my friends hung out in White Rock and were from White Rock. So, and actually, my ex was from White Rock too. And actually, my new wife, Wendy, we've been together quite a long time now. She is from White Rock as well. My aunt and uncle used to live out there, but Langley's a great spot, great soil, and good people like Mr. Paul. Hey, H. Huss, good to see you in there. Whenever Joe starts streaming, I simply have, yeah, you have to hop on. You have to hop on because you guys are my friends. And the thing is, I was missing you guys. So I said, I'm going to have to do another stream today because you know what? Tomorrow I'm back at work. And Jane out there, aloha, Jane. Jane, for all you people that don't know, is in Hawaii. She's on the island of Oahu. Maybe subalpine koa trees are cold as Jubea. They might be. They might be. I think there's a Jubea growing at Coco Crater on Oahu, if I'm correct. And there's also a Brahia armata. Now, we grow Brahia armata here too. We have two in our garden. I have a friend in the Palm Society. Yeah, there is. So Jane knows her stuff. She's been to Coco Crater. So I have a friend in the Palm Society here in Victoria, just not too far from our island. Victoria is the capital of our province on the Big Island, southern end of Vancouver Island. And he's got one or two big Jubeas in his garden, planted them in the 1990s. Big. And he's got big Butias. He's got Trithrinics, Campestris. He's got Brahia armata and Brahia edulis too. So when I get a chance to go to Victoria next time, I'm going to have to visit Jeff's garden and I will shoot a video for you and you'll be blown away. He's got a mature grove of Trachycarpus wagnerianus palms too. Absolutely beautiful. GD Gardens. Oh yeah. 20,000. That's right. I saw that this morning. I was like, oh, okay. Looks like we hit 20 grand. That's funny. I'll tell you sometime how many subscribers I get a month. You can go into the analytics and it tells you. I think this channel gets around 800 or 900 in 28 days, something like that. And you know what? That's great. I mean, if you want to subscribe, that's awesome. I mean, I do this for the fun. I really enjoy the live streams, and shooting videos is a hobby, right? I was shooting videos long before YouTube with a big camera. Remember the not the Super 8s. We did those in the early 80s, VHS. So I have videos of palm trees from back in the 1980s and early 90s, but they're not on here. They're still on a videotape. Hello, Joe from Poland, KRS Palms. Michael, how you doing? Do you grow Spanish moss? No, but Pastor, it will grow here because David in Seattle grows Spanish moss. I saw a video on the rose palm. Yeah. Check out my videos, HS, on Hyophorbe, the bottle palms. I have videos here that I shoot of the bottle palms on Maui at Iao Gardens, and of course, also on Oahu. What are 4K videos? I'm not too sure for do 4K videos. I'm not a techie, so I don't know about that. Is that the internet speed or something like that? I know there's 5K internet. I'm 2.4 something here. And another reason I'm doing this live stream right now is because we have accommodation guests checking in anytime after 3. It is 3:24 p.m. Pacific time here. And I did say the current temperature is 22.5 degrees Celsius when I started this at 59.2% humidity. It's a beautiful day on the rocks. I'm waiting for new seedlings. New seedlings, yes. I was, you know what I was transplanting today into two. There's Miss T right there.
Hey.
Miss T, I'm eating some of your food here. I'm eating some hummus. I transplanted some blue sable miners into liner pots. So I had them in the baggie in the greenhouse. So I transplanted some of them into 2.5-inch liner size pots. So a blue dwarf palmetto, which are kind of cool. They got a blue tinge to the leaves. And I still have some more to transplant. So I can ship some to you in Poland, Michael, but you have to wait till they mature a little bit more because there is more in the baggies that have to grow. All right. So they are blue sable miners. Is your house a mini hotel as well? Yes, we do. Well, we have B&Bs here. We have 2 B&Bs, 2 accommodations here. You can check out our B&B accommodation on booking.com, Magnolia Petal accommodation on Salt Spring Island, and Arbutus Blossom. The reason it's called magnolia petal because we have a lot of magnolias in the garden, and we also have big arbutus trees. So the other accommodation is growing under some towering arbutus trees. There's the phone. Wendy can get that. Maybe it's a palm question. Yeah, so we have accommodations here. That's what we have, and it's you can, like I say, you can check out our accommodations online, and people come here to actually. A lot of them come to see the gardens because it is surrounded by exotic gardens. Sounds like Wendy's getting a booking. Palm tree dew, 82 earlier, now 73. Okay, so about the same temperature as here, but we didn't hit 82. Yeah, you can contact directly Wendy. Wendy runs it. Wendy, that's Wendy's thing. Wendy is the El Presidente of the B&Bs, okay? HS. She had them before we even got together. She had B&Bs. She had 3 of them up in Ganges, the town, our village. And she had 3 a 5-star B&B. It's got a 5-star rating here too. It's a great accommodation. And if you like gardens, if you like palm trees and exotic plants, you step out your front door of the accommodation, and it's like you're in somewhere 1,500 miles south of where you should be. And we are across the street from the ocean, so you can walk down to the beach if you want. Walk through a nice little nature trail. I bet tomorrow will feel 72 or something. Yeah, cool. It's been just beautiful here. The weather has been absolutely perfect. And, well, you know what I mean? I've got my shorts and flip-flops on. See? Shorts and flip-flops. I was just up. How many guests do you have a month? Oh, God, it's been booked out solid. We have 2 separate rooms. So one of them is a self-contained room on the far end of our house. And then we have cottages, too. We have cottages. So you can see the ratings, too. I mean, you can go to TripAdvisor or whatever and go to booking.com and see the ratings and the comments that the guests leave about our place. So, and like I say, Wendy completely deals with it, but you can book directly through her, and you're going to save probably a bit of dough because booking.com takes a chunk, a good percentage of dough from Wendy every time she books it out. I know people. No, I used to wear Crocs a lot, but they wore out. But I found them very slippery when I was walking down a grassy slope. But they're very comfy, and Crocs are very light and easy to walk around in, especially when you're gardening. And at work, I got to wear steel-toe boots, right? I wear the slip-ons like the Blundstones, but they're not Blundstones. I'll show you. They look like Blundstones, but they're not Blundstones. You know these ones here? That's what I wear. I like these. These are steel-toe, and they're super light. And I wear those at work. But when I'm at home, folks, I like to live in flip-flops. Yeah, sounds like Wendy's getting another booking right now. So Wendy's constantly got bookings here. So because of, what's going on in the world, a lot of bad things, she didn't open up till early July. But since she opened up early July, it's been solidly booked, and we're still booked. And it does slow down in the winter months, right? Because tourism slows down, like way down. But she has bookings, like she'll go year round. She's open, but it's picks up again once the spring comes. I got Sago right on GD Gardens. That is awesome. I have sneakers too. Yeah, I rarely wear sneakers, but I do have some. What fruits do you grow? Hamish. We grow good for you, GD Gardens. Sagos are awesome in the ground. I just shot a video of some of our sagos today. We grow loquat. We grow figs. We grow kiwi, raspberries, goji berries, grapes, and I'm trying to think what else we grow. Do we have apple trees? Oh yeah, we have plums, and we have apple tree, and I think that's about it. If I can think of something else, I'll let you know. I think no, there's people here year round. People stay here year round. HS. Yeah, Salt Spring Island is a touristy island, and our economy is based on tourism. So Salt Spring Island goes year round. It's just that the tourists slack it off in the winter. Good, it gives us a bit of a break, and then once the warmer weather comes in the spring, then it picks right back up again, and it gets really big. It doesn't get that cold here. Not for Canada, I'll tell you that. We're in the part of Canada where it does not get that cold. I can walk around in shorts year round if I want to, just wear a sweatshirt on the coldest days. KRS Pump, Michael, I just shot a video of me mulching with chicken. I believe that the topsoil was cut with chicken manure because it's pretty stinky stuff. Putting manure underneath one of our needle palms. So yes, well, you can put it under the palms before winter. Absolutely, do it now. It's good for it. HS, our coldest temperature last year, it did get pretty cold here. Around January 14th and 15th, the low was 22.1 degrees Fahrenheit, so about -5 one night. That was one night of cold. We had about 5 frosts the entire winter last winter. Do people ever think you're lying when you tell? Oh, there was one girl I remember years ago. She left a comment on here on my YouTube channel, and she said I was a complete liar and all my videos were fake. And then she started getting really nasty with me, like using foul language, swearing her head off me, says I'm full of BS. There's no way palm trees could ever grow in Canada. It's like, whatever. I just gave her the boot. You know, you can believe what you want. Like, I'm going to shoot nearly 14,000 fake videos, right? And then I got another 3 or 4,000 videos on my other channels as well. So between the two channels, there's a lot of videos here I shoot. I'm not going to shoot BS videos. I don't lie. I don't BS. And if you don't believe me, you can come and see the garden for yourself. I'm going to tell you I'm going to give my friend Emma a plug, okay? And Emma, the urban botanist from Ottawa, visited our garden a few weeks ago. And just today, she uploaded the video she shot of our garden. And Emma's really good at editing, okay? So go to the YouTube channel, The Urban Botanist, okay? It's called The Urban Botanist. And see the latest video she shot of our garden when she was here. It was her first visit ever to Salt Spring Island, and she was blown away. It took an hour and a half for her to show, to tour her through the garden, and I still did not finish showing her the entire garden. When you're on Salt Spring Island, contact us, and we will show you our garden, and we'll show you what we grow. It takes quite a while to tour our garden. We have a very, very large garden with hundreds of species of plants and mature species of plants that have been here a long time. So you can see I'm not BSing you, right? That's not a fake background. That's not a prop, folks. How far is Waikiki away from? Oh God, Waikiki, 2,666 miles. How chill apples grow in Hawaii is low chill apples trees. Oh, is that right? Low chill, Jane. Low chill apple trees can grow in Hawaii. Is that fake? You know what? I think apples could probably grow closer to the top of Haleakala, and I don't think it's fake. And I think apples could grow at higher elevations on the Big Island too, because there's so many climatic zones there. I don't know if apples would grow on Oahu. I would have my doubts, but prove me wrong. But I think they would grow at higher elevations on Maui and the Big Island. I think there must be apples with low chill requirements that work that. H. Huss, we're on the islands, on the Southern Gulf Islands, off the extreme southwest coast of Canada. So we're in the North Pacific, and Waikiki is in the Central Pacific. So it's about 2,666 miles from our island. And I know that because I checked it out one time. I Googled it, and we have a sign in our yard on driftwood I painted, and it says Hawaii, pointing an arrow, that 1,666 miles. Is your in your free time show what interests you in the? I shot a video of the palm nursery today, but I put it on my other channel. Go to Jungle Joe C, and you can see a video of the palm nursery today. Apples can grow in a wall. Wow, Golden Dorset. Is that right? Apples. Okay, Jane, I'm learning from you, Jane. Apples can grow on Oahu. I'm guessing at higher elevations, or it's just a very low chill requirement apple. Didn't you post beach? Yeah, but those videos I got a few years ago. We go to Hawaii a lot. We go to Hawaii every single year. Those videos are from a few years ago, and I just had them on my camera chip, so we're putting them onto YouTube. So that's not; those aren't recent videos. That channel's still there. BJ616 is my first YouTube channel, but I haven't uploaded to that one for a long, long time, for over a decade. But there's still videos. It's still out there in YouTube land. Pear require even lower chill. Oh, is that right? Well, do we have a pear tree here? I'm trying to think. No, we have Guatemalan cherry. That's the other fruit we grow. Guatemalan cherry. It's evergreen, so we have that as well. Can you hear the frogs? Whether your Trachycarpus also grows in the garden. It grows year-round here. Trachycarpus fortunei is a palm tree that grows year-round in this climate. It never stops growing. They slow down in the wintertime, but they still will open up a frond. Those are frogs you're hearing. Those are tree frogs. There's tons of them here up in the trees. And all winter long, you will hear tree frogs. And when spring comes in the mating season, you will hear thousands of them. They're up there. You want to hear something, man? See those trees up there? These trees are 120 feet tall. There's a tree frog way up that tree. There's a tree frog about 75 feet or 100 feet up in that tree. Lots of tree frogs here. And there's a lot of wildlife on Salt Spring Island. And tree frogs are one of them. I got a lot of videos of tree frogs here. I try to shoot videos of pretty much everything. For me, shooting videos, it captures history, and then I can always look back on them, right? So I've been shooting videos since 2008 for YouTube. I think YouTube started in 2006. So a couple of years after that, when it got started, I started shooting videos, and I try to shoot videos every single day of the year, except when I'm in Hawaii. I do shoot them there, but I upload them when I get back. Oh no, it's beautiful. It is not a nightmare. It's so nice. The sound is absolutely beautiful. When you have thousands of frogs going, to me, it puts me to sleep. It's like hearing rain on our roof. When I hear rain on our metal roof, we have a metal roof on our house. It's absolutely soothing. Hey, Wendy, do you like the sound of tree frogs? Does it bother you when they start croaking lots or not? Wendy loves that sound of tree frogs. She just, when there's thousands of them going, it's like crickets. It's like a symphony, and it's just so nice, the sound. Sometimes I'll come out here at night and just listen to the tree frogs, and it's just like a chorus. And I have videos of them here. I come out at night, can't see anything, but I videotape the sound, the audio of the tree frogs. Kind of like the red-winged blackbirds on a winter day here. There's hundreds of them up in the trees, and they sound so nice. I really do like that sound of frogs. To me, it's better than the sound of traffic. Say traffic cruising past you or a train honking its horn. I do like the sound of boats going by too. You can hear the freighters going by across the street, and you can hear them. When we had that forest fire smoke, it was like every minute they were blowing their big foghorns, and I love that sound when they cruise by. It's really, really nice. And I was videotaping the garden that day, and you can hear the foghorns from the big boats going by. In Hawaii, overnight frost can kill young koa trees. Oh, really? Plants be Metrosideros. Yeah. Well, my Metrosideros is toast from a freeze years ago I planted. Only one railway. Nope, there's no railway on Salt Spring. There's never been a railway on Salt Spring Island. Never, ever, ever been a railway. It's not big enough. Our island is only 16.7 miles long, and there would be nowhere for that railway to go. There's lots of railways. There's a railway on Vancouver Island, because Vancouver Island is massive, and it takes over 7 hours to drive from one end to the other end, right? Port Hardy's here and Victoria's down here. So down here's the capital, and here's the very northern end. And if you go beyond that, you take a boat and you go up to the Haida Gwaii. You go up to some other northern islands way up in the north, and there are palms growing on Haida Gwaii too. Some of my palms. We had a guy and his son stay here at our B&B a couple of years ago, and I sent him back to Haida Gwaii with a bunch of Trachycarpus palms and seed. Maybe plant some under koa trees and they're established on your island. Yeah, that would be so cool. I have to get some. I have to get some seed for that. You can have mini trains like you see. Yeah, that would be cool. A mini train on Salt Spring Island, like one at Stanley Park in Vancouver. I used to ride on it when I was a little kid. It's still there. How long do cameras you must see to germinate? At what temperature? I have several. I'm trying to think. I've germinated so many Camerops palms over the years, and I have some in pots in the greenhouse that were collected in St. George, Utah. I'm thinking it took them in the baggie. I germinated them in a baggie, and I think before they started to sprout was about 3.5 months. I think it was about 3.5 months, and I had them at room temperature in the house. Actually, it got a little bit warmer. The room temperature was in the winter time, if I remember, because we had the wood stove going, and I had them up on a shelf in the hallway, and it was pretty warm up there. Have you grown needle palm? Yes, I've grown many needle palms from seed. I'll tell you what I've grown from seed. I've grown Ciagris. I've grown Veitchia Murillii. I've grown Rhopatophyllum hystrix. I've grown all types of sable palms. I've grown Phoenix canariensis, Dactylifera, Wagnerianus hybrid, Trachycarpus fortunei. I'm just trying to think what else. Butia, Jubea, and more will come to me. Sereno repens, Nanoropes ricciana, Trachycarpus nanus. I sell a lot of palm trees over the years, and I've grown thousands of freaking cordylines from seed too. Cordylines actually self-seed here, certain areas on our island. And one of my friends there phones me up one time last year, said, Joe, come and dig out some of these cordylines because they're growing like weeds in the garden. So I dug a few. They really don't like to be transplanted when they start getting a good taproot developed, but I did manage to survive out of her garden. So what palm took the longest to grow? Jubea chilensis is slow. Needle palms are slow, very, very slow to germinate for me, and same with sable minor. Sable minor are pretty slow here, but we do have some nice sable minor in our garden. But you know what? I'm patient. That's okay. And I plant sable minor seedlings all over the place. So we have a lot of them in the garden, but they grow at a lot slower rate this far north. So you have to remember our latitude, folks, okay? We don't have the extreme heat units like somebody at 35 degrees south latitude or north latitude, wherever you want to call it. We're at 48 degrees north latitude, right? So we're in Canada. And the way I see it, like I tell you guys, no palm tree should ever grow anywhere in Canada. And that's why most people probably won't believe. People that don't know about palms think I'm full of malarkey when I tell them that palm trees grow in certain areas in Canada. And really, if you think about it, most people don't associate palm trees with Canada. So sable minor grow at a lot slower rate up here, and Trachycarpus is a foolproof palm for our Pacific Coast climate. So that's the palm you're going to see most of, and all other ones I think should be treated as experimental. How is the needle palm seedling doing? Oh no, that one petered out. It dried out, unfortunately. I didn't water it enough, and it looks crappy. And maybe it wasn't as happy when I got it either. And no, it petered out in the greenhouse. I never even took it out of the greenhouse. It dried up, unfortunately. Is there any chance you will? I've grown lots of nanoprops from seed, and I've sold them. In the past, I grew them at my last location. I might have grown some here. I'm talking at my last location on the mainland because I had a greenhouse and I grew palms there too. I've grown Trithrinax campestris, and I had some seedlings I sold years ago. They're too slow. You need to get a bigger one that's established. Maybe like a 5-gallon one would be better to plant here. Jeff in Victoria has a pretty good sized Trithrinax in his garden. And Nanoprops ricciana, I imported one from a palm nursery in California back in the 1980s through the Palm Society. I got 3 palms from them. I got Jubea chilensis, Serrano repens, and Nanoprops ricciana. The Nanoprops ricciana died the first winter. The Serrano repens died the first winter, and the Jubea chilensis made it through the winter with protection. And then I brought it here, and it survived many years until I moved it one February because I thought it'd be better in another. And it was growing so well, and I moved it at the wrong time of the year, and it petered out. So I'm never going to ever move my Jubea. I grew one from seed here. I've grown others from seed. Got the seed from Locarno, Switzerland, and it's about, I think, close to 17 years old now, and it's looking really nice, and it's growing really well, and it's there to stay. And there's a couple Trachycarpus princeps growing beside it. I think I'm doing a tour of Canada. Start with Ontario to British Columbia, finish on Sweet. You got to finish on Salt Spring. You got to do that. You got to go to Victoria. You got to go to Vancouver. Go to the west end of Vancouver. If you like palm trees, go to the suburb of Tsawwassen. That's about 20 miles south of Vancouver, and you will see palm-lined streets. Mature palm trees, lots of them, all over the place. Malls with palm trees around them. And Vancouver, go to the west end of Vancouver, English Bay, and you won't believe your eyes, okay? Lots of palm trees there all over the place. Mature palm trees, Camarops, and Trachycarpus palms. They have agaves down there. They have big cordylines, lots of bananas, eucalyptus, you name it. They grow it down in the west end of Vancouver, and they're all public plantings. They look absolutely beautiful. Yes, we have a lot of palm trees here too, but not as many palm trees as Vancouver and Victoria, like mature ones. There's lots in private gardens, but Vancouver, I think, are the palm growing mecca of Canada, where you're going to see lots of public plantings of them. Yes, sure, I've planted lots in the public landscape here over the years. I would like to plant more, but I've only planted so many, but I'm always adding a few more here and there. I just planted one by Ganges Marina just last weekend. So there is one beside the snow gum eucalyptus tree about 20 feet away from it on at Ganges Marina in town. There's some big ones growing across the street that I didn't plant. They're growing at the Vacation Mariners Loft Vacation Rentals overlooking the ocean across the street, but there's some big palm trees in the front and the back. Do you see grizzlies? No grizzlies here on Salt Spring Island, but there are grizzly bears in Colombia if you go to northern more regions. Where Wendy's mom lives on the Sunshine Coast, about 85 miles north by northeast of here, there are grizzly bears that have actually made their way down to that peninsula. It's a remote peninsula only accessible by ferry. There's no roads going into the Sunshine Coast, and it is a beautiful climate there. There's lots of palm trees on the Sunshine Coast in Sechelt, Gibsons, and Davis Bay. You can check out my videos of palm trees here from that area. Wendy's mom's got lots of palm trees in her garden. I've never seen a grizzly. I've seen bears here, black bears, but no grizzlies. There's no bears on Salt Spring, but sometimes bears make their way across a narrow channel from the Big Island to here every so often. But usually the farmers will shoot them. Yeah, grizzly bear's too big for me to see. Palms and grizzlies, yeah. Well, Wendy shot a video about 7 years ago near Port Renfrew of what we're not sure what it was we saw that day in the forest. To me, it looked more upright, and it looked more upright to her. We're walking along. We heard some branches breaking ahead of us in the bush because we were down the edge of a stream. She says, well, let's take this little pathway into the forest here and just explore because she likes to hike. And something was moving ahead of us about maybe 80 to 100 feet ahead of us. So we were as silent as we could be. She had her camera going there, and she filmed something. I don't think it was a grizzly, but it was definitely something different. And I don't know if it was a bear. You look at the video and you decide for yourself. And it kind of disappeared behind this big kind of stump. And then that's why she stopped filming. It just kind of disappeared into the bush. But then we got the heck out of there real quick. We didn't want to be following it just in case it was a bear or something else, right? Keishakoa does so well in Northern California due to the cool weather, fog. Oh, so they do like the fog. That is very interesting. So the climate mimics Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea. Very cool, Jane. Well, I have to get some seed from that. Hey, Jane, okay, I tell you what. Here's a deal. If you ever get koa wood seed, send me some, and I will send you something from Salt Spring Island, okay? I know I can't send seed into Hawaii. It's very difficult to get seed into Hawaii, but I could send you something else. I could send you a nice souvenir from Salt Spring Island, so you could have a souvenir. So if you sent me like half a dozen seeds, you know, I could try them, and we will see if they work here on Salt Spring Island. And because I'm definitely not going back to Maui this year or Oahu, but maybe next year. But if you could do that, you know, if you don't mind, if it's not too much trouble, do that. If you ever have time, you come across some seeds, and but don't feel obligated to do it. But if you happen to have some seeds, send them, and I'll send you something from Salt Spring and trade. They say that by dead when you're near a grizzly. How about if you're near a Sasquatch? What do you do if you see a Bigfoot? They say this is Bigfoot country up here. And what we saw in the forest that day was pretty freaky. You can see Wendy's video. It was pretty crazy. It was Gulf Island rock. What? There's Wendy chewing. What are you chowing down on? You got some?
I have a lady calling me about a booking.
Wendy's got Wendy's booked out again. Tiny house?
The other one booked and the other lady wanted to book.
Wow. Okay. I hope Sasquatches are big Tracky fans. They're furry like Trackies. Okay, so go to Gulf Island Rock. Gulf Island Rock. So Gulf is one word, Island Rock on Wendy's YouTube channel. And check out the video. She titled it Bigfoot sighting near Port Renfrew. I told her you should title it Possible Bigfoot Sighting. But in the information below, I think she did Possible Bigfoot Sighting. But check it out. Tell us what you think.
I'm doing a video for that guy that wants the
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, when you're on Salt Spring Island too, did you say it was a bear? I don't know what it was. I really don't know what it was. That's why Wendy put the video on there. She never even had a YouTube channel at that time, so that thing sat on her chip forever, on her camera chip. Anyway, yeah, when you're on Salt Spring Island, check out Wendy's gallery. She has an art gallery here, and she's a really cool artist. She paints a lot of West Coast stuff, and I think that's what she's going to do right now. She's going to go shoot a video of her art gallery for somebody that wants to see her art gallery virtually, and then she's going to post it on her YouTube channel. I think she probably has a video on it. Wendy's got about 1,000 YouTube videos on her channel there, so check them out. It's a lot of random stuff, but it's also a lot of things pertaining to exotic gardening and artwork and this and that and the other. And it's like this. This channel pertains to exotic gardening, but I do like to mix it up and break up the monotony by throwing some random videos in there. Is that Kitty that walked by me? Oh, that's the dog. Anyway, H. Huss, check out the video and tell us what you think it is. And yeah, Anyway, good to see you all in there. It is nice to see you there. And I hope you're all having a good day. It feels like it's a little bit warmer out here. Unfortunately, I have to work tomorrow, which kind of sucks, but I do love my job. But I only work 3 days, and then I'm on holidays. So I just had a short vacation, and then I get more holidays. So I'm really looking forward to doing a live stream. Hopefully, they have fast internet on the West Coast, and I will do a live stream from out on the Lanai, the sun deck, where we're staying on the West Coast of Vancouver Island, and I will upload some palmy videos for you guys to see. You guys like cordylines? That's where the biggest cordylines grow in Canada, on the West Coast of Vancouver Island. They are big trees, big trunks, branched, flowering, beautiful. Just saw the video. I think you think it's a bear. Yeah, I'm not too sure what it is, but I do believe in Bigfoot. I do believe in Sasquatch. I like to keep an open mind. I'm not too sure. It was pretty quiet, whatever it was, but it was big. It seemed very, very big, and it kind of moseyed on through the forest and buggered off. So anyway, I'm just glad whatever it was, it didn't come and attack us, because if it was a bear, and if it had cubs, they can be pretty aggressive. One time we were coming back from Tofino, and Wendy says, "Oh, there's some bear on the side of the road." So I cracked a nut in the vehicle, came back, and we shot a video of a mama bear. She either had one or two cubs. Nope, that's why they're elusive. There's so much forest. You know, when Wendy and I were driving to, I believe it. I believe Bigfoot's real, cryptozoology. Too many people have seen Bigfoot. I know a lot of the videos are hoaxes, but I think some of them are definitely real, especially the Patterson one that's been analyzed, because you can see the muscle movement in the arms. There's so much vast forest. There's so many places where it could hide in the forest. They probably bury their dead like human. They're a lot smarter than we think. They're elusive and they don't want to be seen. Patterson film is the most famous 1967 footage of Bigfoot you will ever see in Northern California. So you can check that one out. And it has been analyzed, and I've seen the analyze of it, and you can see the muscles moving in the arms. What's the video? Patterson Bigfoot film. Patterson Bigfoot film. Just do that. But there's so many skeptics out there. But you think when we're driving to the west coast of Vancouver Island, you think of how much vast forest there is. And Wendy and I look at each other. It's so easy for Bigfoot to hide out into that forest, just like a bear or anything else out there, right? That palm off Joe's shoulder has been mostly suspicious way. I'm pretty sure it's a furry arm. That palm. How about this one? What do we have here? Oh, she cut them all down. She just cut down the last of the plants. There it is. It's drying. Well, you know what was in behind me before in the background, but they're not there anymore. Drying them all. Ha. Might have been a man that hasn't shaved. Maybe it was in the bush. Yeah, I believe in UFOs. I believe in Bigfoot. I totally believe in cryptozoology. You know what I mean? There's definitely, I can't say no. Like I say, I think too many people have seen those things, and I've seen some pretty good film on them, but I know a lot of them kind of are fake. They look like they're BS, but there's other ones. It's like you got your head. It's like, man, that could be very real. And back in the 1967, they did not have ape suits like the Patterson suit. They did not have them of that quality that looked that real. Look at the Patterson film of Bigfoot, and I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, I got a friend out here that goes, him and his wife go squatching. They call it squatching. They go up to the Walbrand Valley on the West Coast. So some of the highest concentrations of sightings are in the Pacific Northwest. You know that, right? I do. I believe there's other forms of life in the universe as well. See, I'm off topic of palms. See, it'd be almost arrogant to think that we're the only form of life in this vast universe. I think it's totally arrogant to actually think that. So I think there's more intelligent life forms out there somewhere else. And people have seen things. UFOs, we don't know what a UFO is. I can honestly say I've seen it twice in my life. And I can recall both times because I had witnesses with me. And the second time, it was two guys I was working with saw the thing first, and it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it was around 1990, 91, somewhere in there, just before I moved to Salt Spring Island. And we were working out there, and he pointed up there as a Vietnamese dude, didn't speak the greatest English, but he kept pointing disc. I shut off the tractor I was using. I was on we're on a loading machine. And looked up there, and I saw this shiny metallic silver object way up there, way up in the sky, sitting there. It seemed like eternity it sat there, but it wasn't. It was maybe a minute, maybe a little bit more. Of course, I didn't have my camera with me. We all watched it. We all stood there and watched it, and then it just took off. I don't know what it was. It's a UFO. It's unidentified, right? And then I saw another one. It would have been January 1978. I was probably about 13 years old. I went out to the barn with my dad and my sister to feed the animals. We lived on the mainland because we had a mini hobby farm. And I used to like to look up in the starry sky, clear, cold January night, look at the satellites cruising by. Saw this one thing cruising by, then it stopped. I called dad out and sister, and we're watching this thing. And it didn't last very long because they were standing right beside me in the doorway of the barn. We looked up, I pointed at it, and then it went like this and it took off. So I don't know, another identified thing, right? Don't know what it was. And it was way up there, like where the satellites were. That's what it looked like. Yep. So anyway, that's my opinion on that stuff. And whether people believe it or not, that's everybody's got their opinion on things. So anyway, I always have my camera with me. So if I ever see a Bigfoot, folks, I'm going to shoot a video of it. And I'm not going to stop filming the video either. I know most videos you see are all shaky and sketchy and they're all blurry, right? So if I ever see something like that, I'm going to try to keep the camera steady without freaking out, because I would be in awe. If I saw something that big, you see something that's 8 foot tall and all hairy standing in front of you in the bush. Even worse if it's staring there looking at you, standing there looking down at you. I don't even know. Would you be shooting a video of it? Hi, can I shoot a video of you, Mr. Bigfoot? Like Harry and the Hendersons, right? He was a good Bigfoot, though. Anyway, I would run for the. I would definitely shoot a video of it. Just like if I ever see a mountain lion when I'm in the forest working, if I ever see a mountain lion, I'm going to stop and I'm going to shoot a video of that mountain lion. Absolutely. I have my camera with me at all times now. My camera has been by my side for probably 12 years now, at least 12 years in my pocket. I never leave home without it. And the worst thing is when I get to work and I forget to put a camera chip in it or a battery. That is the worst thing. And it's like I start shooting a video and there's no battery in my camera. The worst thing, you see a Bigfoot, you pull out your camera and you don't have your camera chip in it because you've been uploading videos onto YouTube and the camera chip is stuffed into your computer. That would be the worst thing. So I always double check your camera. And do I have my camera on me? I have my camera on me. I have my camera. So my camera's in my pocket at all times in there. I do have an extra battery right there. There's my extra battery. I don't have an extra chip with me. And there's my camera like I've showed you before. That's what all my YouTube videos are shot on. Right there is that Canon. I have 3 of these cameras. The other ones, the lens are getting scratched on them, so I keep buying new ones, right? I've had about 7 or 8 Canons. Some of the other ones I've dropped and broken. But anyway, this shoots really good videos. I'm quite happy with Canon, and they're super easy to use. It has everything I want. Wendy's got one step up from this one. She's got a Canon that looks like this, but it's a little bit better quality. She paid more for it. And it has a few more features on it, but does the same thing. It's got a better zoom lens. I don't own an iPhone. I have an iPhone at work. So I have shot. You know what bothers me? I cannot get, hey, Sandor, did you get the tiki yet? Tell me you got that tiki. Drive me crazy. This tiki better get there. Canada Post cannot be that slow. A lot of people shoot videos on their iPhone. I shot one the other day on my iPhone and I tried to upload it to Instagram and I cannot get it. Hey, Joe, Sander, not yet. Come on. Are you following the tracking number on it? Okay, so it's only Tuesday today. Okay, it's Tuesday. And when did I mail it? I mailed it last week for you, right? So, well, it's got to be there this. Canada Post cannot be that slow, and they can't blame it on anything that's going on. Very upset if you don't get it this week. Yes, in Kitchener. Oh, is it? It is in Kitchener. Okay, so that's what the tracking says. So it's getting closer to you. So I'm guessing you're going to get that tiki tomorrow or the next day, and post a picture of it when you do get it. I delivered one to Port Renfrew yesterday. It's sitting in one of the cafes there. A driftwood tiki I carved out of maple. The lady was very happy to get her tiki in Port Renfrew, and I am bringing, and I can't forget it, I'm bringing the one to Tofino next week when we go to Tofino. Yeah, thanks, Sandor. I appreciate that. And I can't believe how slow the mail is these days. Like, I mean, I think you work for Canada Post, you said so. And I just think it should be faster than that. I mean, there's plane. I mean, it comes by plane, doesn't it? Or is it coming by truck? Maybe if it comes by truck, I can see it takes a little longer. But if mail comes by plane, they load it up in the cargo section of the plane. I mean, it only takes, truck. Okay. That's right, too. I remember this. You're right. It does come by truck because Mike Page, Coconut Mike, and I've shipped him a lot of palms over the years. Coconut Mike passed away a couple Decembers ago. Montreal palms. Um, one February, he wanted me to ship him a bunch of 1 gallon palms, and I don't ship big palms anymore, but bigger palms. So I shipped him a bunch of 1 gallon palms, bare root. There was about 2 dozen of them. And when he got them in Montreal, they were all frozen dead. And they went by truck because I asked the lady at the post office, and I won't ship palms anymore in the wintertime. Temperatures here were fine, but east of the Pacific coast, temperatures were not fine, and they were freezing from here to the east coast. And by the time he got those palms, they were palmsicles. And yeah, it was sad. It was really sad. And so I'm not shipping palms in the winter anymore. Only spring, summer, and I will ship them now. I'll ship seedlings, but I don't ship any bigger ones anymore. It's just too much of a hassle. But I got a bunch of sable cross bazoriensis going out to Texas too. Yeah, it was a drag because there were nice palms, 2 dozen of them that I grew from seed, and they all froze dead. He sent me a picture of them; they're all dead. The roots froze. Right, I wrapped them up in wet newspaper, and I wrapped that up with plastic bags, and I had them in boxes. So anyway, that's the way it was. Anyway, I don't know if you knew Coconut Mike. He was a good guy, and he grew a lot of palm trees in Montreal, Zone 5. But he did a lot of work protect those palms in Montreal. He would box them in and put heat with them. And there's another guy like that in Quebec that grows palms in Zone 5 named Benoit. And I think he does have a YouTube channel. And yeah, he does. It's a lot of work to grow them like that. But hey, if that's what makes you happy growing palm trees, then you do it. Doesn't matter where you are. I don't even care if you're up in Baffin Island. If you want to grow a palm tree up in the Arctic, grow a palm tree. And let the world see it. You know what I mean? From all the hard effort, work you put into it, build something around it. It'd be cool to see a palm tree up in Nunavut or Northwest Territories. Wouldn't that be cool? And I think if I lived up there, I would definitely try it for sure. There's a guy apparently that grows them up in Edmonton, Alberta. And he boxes them in and he puts heat with them. He posted a picture, I think it was last week on one of my sites, people who love palm trees and exotic plants. What's the furthest north you sent them? I'm trying to think. I've sent them to every province. I'm trying to think if I've shipped them to northern. I've got them in Haida Gwaii, but I didn't ship them there. A guy and his son stayed at our B&B, and I sent them back with some palm seedlings. I'm trying to think with the north. Labrador, I've sent some to Labrador. I'm thinking the farthest north I've sent them might be Haida Gwaii. I'm guessing. I don't know if I've shipped any to Yukon. Maybe. I don't remember. I've shipped them all over. Can never live up there. It's like, no. I could never live up there. No. I can't live there. I can only live here. I was born here. I was born here on the West Coast, and I will only live on the West Coast unless something happens and I come into a ton of money, and then I will live half the year on Maui, right? And maybe even get a place on the Oregon coast because I really love the Oregon coast too. Oregon is a pretty awesome place. But yeah, no, I do like Salt Spring Island. It's a really good place to garden because I can garden here year round, and that is my job. I am a gardener for the Parks Department / maintenance, so I do that year round out here. Well-populated part of Canada, at least, yeah. Yeah, well, it's well-populated here anyway. On our island, we have 10,500 people, so that's enough people here for me, although the population can triple in the summer months to go to 30,000, which is too much for me. That's why I live up here with Wendy on the very north end of the island where it's very quiet. Always quiet here on the north end of the island. Ganges is like Waikiki in the summertime. It's way too busy, overrun and crawling with tourists. But you know what? That can be a good thing. The marinas are full of boats that come in from the U.S. And all over and in the Pacific coast of Canada. But a lot of U.S. boats come in and they fill up the marina. And that's good because they get off the boats and they buy things. So it keeps the economy going. Right, it's good for the businesses, the shops in town, and then we have the Tuesday markets on right now. And oh, I got to show you something. I'm going to go grab it. And it's already starting to dry out. There's a local farmer here, folks, that grows a lot of ginger outside in his garden, right? He's an organic farmer. So, and this is just a tiny root. He's got massive ginger roots, right? So when I went to work on Saturday morning, I was Talking to Michael Abelman. He's quite famous. He's got a lot of books out. He moved up here from Southern California, Goleta, California, I think. He moved up here about maybe 18, 19 years ago from Southern California, and he bought about a 120-acre piece of land up on one of the mountains there. And he grows amazing ginger, and he grows watermelons, and he grows cantaloupes all outside. It's a nice hot spot. So he says, hey, Joe, I'm going to give you some more ginger, because I buy ginger from him because I like to put it in my tea. It is like the best ginger. It's all grown outside here on Salt Spring Island, and that is a tiny little root. Most of his roots are massive. So he just gave me this little chunk here, and I cut it off and I put it in my tea. So that is locally grown Zanzibar. That is tropical ginger grown here on Salt Spring Island. We also grow sweet potatoes here and watermelons and cantaloupes. Any Gulf islands with no civilization? Yes, absolutely. There's lots of islands with no people living on them here. And all around us, population. So Salt Spring Island is the metropolis of the Southern Gulf Islands, the most heavily populated. We have lots of elementary schools. We have the high school, 3 fire halls, police station, the only island with a hospital. And we have everything in here. Just no box stores or fast food permitted on any Gulf Island, okay? So we have everything but fast food or box stores. You will never see a box store here. And no neon signs. All the signs are carved out of wood. Galiano has around, I think, 1,000 people. Maybe 1,100 people. Galiano Island's right across from us. Wallis Island, nobody lives on Wallis Island, but a guy did used to live on it back in the 1930s and 40s. Maybe it was the 40s. David Conover, and he had a resort over there. And that's the island in between us and Galiano. And Marilyn Monroe would come up here, stay on Wallis Island. David Conover was kind of the guy that discovered Marilyn Monroe he was a photographer, and he used to photograph her when she was Norma Jean. So she would stay there, but there's nobody there now. It's a marine park, so you can go over there by boat and stay in the campground, and that's the only way you can get there, by boat. Main Island, I think there's about maybe 900 people that live on Main Island. And Saturna Island, there's about 250 people. And then Pender Island, I think there might be about 3,000 people. Prevost Island, there might be 100 people or less on Prevost Island. So anyway, there's a lot of history here. And a lot of Black history and a lot of Hawaiian history, as you know from me telling you that before. So lots of Hawaiian history, lots of Black history, and a lot of the early settlers came from Europe, right? England, Portugal came to Salt Spring Island, and the first were among the first were the Blacks and the Hawaiians, and then Beggsville was settled just down the road from us, and I think they came from England, Shetland Islands, Ireland, and all that. It's going good. Stream has been going. It's been on for 1 hour and 7 minutes and 44 seconds. And it's just so nice out here. The patio umbrella is perfect, blocking out the sun as much as I love the sun, but it is an absolutely beautiful day. And it's my day off. I took a day off to do my little mini vacation. I'm breaking up my holidays now since I'm not going to Maui. And next week, starting Friday after work, I will be on vacation again. So I'm going to try to do a live stream from the west side of Vancouver Island. What am I eating for dinner tonight? Tamara, we are having steak. We're having beautiful steak with potatoes and Greek salad. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. I'm not a great barbecuer, okay? I can admit that. Wendy's a good barbecuer, so she's going to barbecue the steak. Yeah, it's really, really warm here. It's about, right now I'm guessing it's about 73 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade. And humidity's nice and low. And it's very calm. There's a very, very slight ocean breeze. I can see on the eucalyptus trees. Can you see behind me there? See the gum trees? Those are eucalyptus up there. Let's see the top of them. Can you see them moving? Very, very slightly. It is a very gorgeous day here on the Southern Gulf Islands, and it was a nice day yesterday in Port Renfrew. It's my kind of weather, and then we did get some rain last week, so the rain with less heat units than we had in the summer, there's less evaporation. So the only thing I watered today were those blue sable minor palms I transplanted. Yeah, there's always sometimes a slight ocean breeze here. And yeah, I can see it on the bigger. There's much taller eucalyptus trees in the front of the house there, and they are they're blowing in the breeze a little bit. I just watched the urban botanist Emma, really good gal. So she might be here again in October. So what I'm going to do when she comes here, I'm going to show her around. We're going to take her around and show her some other gardens. And she wants to see some old growth trees. And I know where the biggest trees are growing on Salt Spring Island that are hundreds and hundreds of years old, 200 feet tall and 9 or 10 feet wide. Big trees. That's not the circumference, that's the width, right? They're big, big trees. So I will take her and show her some of those things so she can shoot another video of Salt Spring Island. First visit here. And I believe Emma is a stewardess, but because of what's going on in the world, a lot of them have been laid off. So she's doing other things, and she's very keen with the videography and the editing. Unlike me, I'm not good at editing. I don't edit anything. Phone, Wendy. It's probably a booking. Wendy's still getting bookings. Yeah, watch that, Alec. It's actually a really good video she did, and it's quite long. I don't think there's... Oh, yeah, there's lots of food-related videos. I got tons of food-related videos here, trust me. There's a lot of them. How about me eating raw oysters on the beach? There's one of those, too. Scotty, how's it going? There's my friend Scott that also grows palms in sunny Tsawwassen, where palm-lined streets live in sunny Tsawwassen. So remember I was telling you about palm-lined streets in south of Vancouver, 15, 20 miles south of Vancouver? Well, that's where Scotty lives. He lives in a town where there are palm-lined streets just across the water here in sunny Tsawwassen. They do call it sunny Tsawwassen because it gets a lot more sun than everywhere else over there. And it's a really nice area. So if you ever move to the mainland, move to Tsawwassen and buy Scotty's house. And then when Scotty sells his house, he can move here and be our neighbor just behind us, right? Anyway, HS, check out my food videos. There's lots of food videos here on cooking pasta, cooking oysters, cooking chicken. You know it. Have it. I think I might have to steak for dinner. Oh, yeah, I like steak. Yeah, Wendy's got a couple of steaks sitting out there right now. And Wendy cooks a really good steak. When Wendy was younger, she worked at Mr. Mike's Charbroiled Steak Burger. And she used to cook some good steaks. She puts the grill marks on them, too. I can't do that. I just burn them. Or you know what I do? I'm bad like this. I'll put the steak on the barbecue and I'll leave it. And then I'll come back and it'll be too long and it'll be overcooked. You should buy Scotty's house, man. It's nice. It's up there. It's going to be up there. It's a good chunk of change. I think it's close to 2 mil. I think it's close to 2 mil. Tsawwassen is not cheap. And Scotty's got some big palm trees in his garden. The place that he's going to get here, and I can't disclose the location, is pretty awesome. It's 5 acres and it's lots of palm, 1.6 mil. And the place that we went up there, Scotty stayed here a couple weeks ago, Scotty and his wife, and we went up there to meet the people of the house, and I know who they are. So we brought him up there to meet them, and the gardens are beautiful. You would love it. It's lots of nice palm trees, manicured gardens, beautiful banana plants, and 5 acres. It is a gorgeous place. It really is a gorgeous place. If I didn't live here and I could afford that place, I'd live up there. It's neat as you know, Scotty's a minimalist, so he likes neat as a pin. So Wendy says that's the place for Scotty and Susie right there. They're going to love that place. And I hope Scotty and Susie get it because they deserve it. And Scotty's a good guy. And I can see Scotty putting in more palms up there because Scotty is a palm maniac, right? And it's good to have palm maniacs that live near us. So there you go.
So you have a nice tiki bar.
Well, they have a tiki bar too. We're gonna have to visit your tiki bar, Scotty. We will bring the brewskis, okay? And we can even bring you another tiki. Yeah, Scotty's on here. Scotty's right there. Wendy says hi, Scotty. Yeah, Scotty sometimes joins in for the live stream.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful out, eh? How's the weather over there?
I hope he's
probably nice. Sunny Tsawwassen is nice. Scotty, we were in Port Renfrew yesterday, and it was pretty nice. Yeah, you'd like Scotty's place over there on the mainland in sunny Tsawwassen, and you would also like this place on Salt Spring Island. Wendy says hi. Scotty says hi, and Susie says hi too. Hello, Wendy says hi. She says we'll see you soon. See, we're the eternal optimists, and we will see you soon, neighbor. Yeah, she's got bookings, so there's somebody checking in today down below, and then there's somebody checking in up at the tiny house too. I think so. It's been pretty busy here.
No, the weekend.
Oh, the weekend. They're checking in on the weekend. But they better check out before we check out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So they're checking into the tiny house?
No, the one couple, they're older, so no.
Oh, they're Crispies.
Younger people.
They're older Crispies, so they're checking in below. You got to be younger and in shape like Scotty and Susie to check in to the tiny house because you got to go up and down stairs into a loft for a king-size bed, right? And it's Salt Spring style. But when you're an old Crispy you're not going to be climbing upstairs and you end up falling out of the attic where you're sleeping and breaking your neck or something. And that doesn't look good on our ratings on TripAdvisor. I was at Joe and Wendy's B&B and I slipped and I fell and I broke my legs or I broke my hip. And usually when you're an old crispy, if you break your hip, that is a death sentence. So we don't want that here. Wendy likes good ratings for her B&B. And if you check out her ratings on TripAdvisor, she's got good ratings. She runs a good B&B. If I ran the place, I probably wouldn't have good ratings because I don't have really good patience. I don't have a lot of patience for people. So when people whine and complain about things, I'd probably tell them off and I'd get a crappy rating. Booking.com. Wendy's really mellow and really gentle, and she's good for running the business. Not me. I would not make a good B&B El Presidente. You know what I mean? I have fun live streaming and I have fun gardening. And I remember dealing with one B&B guest one time. He was complaining and whining about stuff. And you know what I mean? I said, really, if you don't like it here, then don't stay here, blah, blah, blah. And he put me in a really bad mood. And so anyway, I got to work and I was even in a worse mood because I got called in. And then some guy, some vagrant dude came in and he started chewing me out. I just finished unplugging a toilet. I got called in. I rode down on my Harley. So I wasn't even in my park uniform. I had my Harley jacket on and I went in there and I was in a bad mood because of the B&B guy. And this transient dude came up and he started into me and I absolutely lost my mind on him. I chased him out of the park. And then a police officer came up to me a few days later and she says, did you verbally assault some guy in the park? And I said, that's lucky for him. That's all I did. Because I said, really, I wanted to slam his head through the brick wall. Anyway, and she says, that's okay, Joe, because he was a troublemaker. Anyway, I had a rough day that day. I was just happy to get home to my garden. So I wouldn't work out very well running a B&B. We leave that for her, Miss T. Yeah. Oh, you should have seen this guy. He couldn't even look at me. When I see him in the park, he went the other way. I literally chased him out of the park. And I called him every effing word in the book. Any word I could think of, I called the guy. I was so mad. I wanted to just strangle him. Anyway, and I could do that because I got called in and I wasn't in my park uniform. So, but if I was in my park uniform, I'd probably have to be a little nicer, but I'd still chew him out. And then I'd have to fill out an incident report. I had to fill out an incident report a month ago, and it's not good when you have to fill out incident reports when you lose it on somebody. But you know what? He lost it on me first, so I have to give him back his own medicine. That's the way I see it, right? Anyway, I'm having a good day now, live streaming with you guys, and it's good to see you all in there, and it's good to see Scotty, Jane. I saw the Urban Bed. Oh, there you go. Cool. You did see the video. Awesome. Thanks, Jane. Emma's really good shooting videos, and I think it's a new YouTube channel she has. So I shared the video, so hopefully people will watch more of her videos. She's very enthusiastic. She's very into exotic plants, and I think she likes to bring them to an indoor setting in Ottawa and create better air in people's offices and homes by creating the urban jungle, right? Creating the urban jungle indoors. Okay, HS, take care. Yeah, I'll probably call her quits soon too. And I'm gonna roam around the garden and see if I need to transplant anything. We did finally plant the long needle Mexican pine today, sitting in the pot for many years out front the B&B. So Wendy says, got to get it in the ground. So it's in the ground. It's in the ground now. So it's long needles on it. And it is native to, I think, northern Mexico. Yes, nice chatting with you, HS. Have a great day. And I'll be on here for a few more minutes. Maybe we'll go to half past 1 hour and 30 minutes. We're 4:19 now. I hear Wendy clanking dishes in there and stuff. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to go get some potatoes ready because I think maybe mashed potatoes are in store. I could do a video of her cooking steaks. Wendy cooks some good steaks. Really, really good steaks. Anyway, thanks, Jane, for watching the vid. And yeah, like I say, if you have a chance, I do have the vid posted on my Facebook page and also my Facebook groups. And it's a good video she did. It's good editing. So that makes for a better video. Yeah. Long needle pine is pretty cool. All right. So let's see. I have Japanese black pine. Oh, I know that pine. That's actually a very hardy pine too that will grow here on Salt Spring Island. And I believe there are some growing in the Japanese garden in town. We have a Japanese garden and there's actually a southern magnolia in there. And I planted a palm tree there years ago. I threw in a palm seedling. It's in very poor soil, but it's actually every time I fertilize the grass in that park. And I think the palm is about this big now. It looks pretty good. And it's actually quite a cold spot. So that Trachycarpus palm is doing very well. in the Japanese garden. I did give them a ginkgo, but it ended up going home with one of the Japanese ladies. And I grew that from seed. Mine lived in Japan and lives in Japan, and she had a place here. So she brought me a bunch of ginkgo seeds she collected in Japan, and I grew them all. And I gave them away to people that visited our garden. So there's a lot of ginkgo trees on Salt Spring. And then I gave one to a Japanese lady who looks after the gardens, and it's at her place now. Here, Japanese pine, kapahulu at Popeyes. Popeyes. Oh, I know Popeyes. That's an eatery. I've eaten at Popeyes in Anaheim. They're very nice. I used to work for a Japanese guy when I lived on the mainland, and he had Japanese black pine and I think red pine, and he had them all twisted up with wires and stuff. So they're like these giant bonsais, but they weren't bonsais. Box strategically placed in his garden with moss. He had a Japanese maple, cutleaf maple, Acer palmatum, Artopurpureum dissectum. I think that's what it is, or Acer palmatum dissectum. It's the cutleaf maple, and Google that if you think I'm wrong. And anyway, it looked really nice. So we had, oh, there's Frazo. There he is. Nice. Good to see you in there, Barry, from Up Island. Ginkgo seeds are yummy. Yes. Oh, Jane, I did eat some of the ginkgo seeds. I roasted them in the oven, in the little oven we had, toaster oven, and I ate some of them. Is there a pine forest in Hawaii? I know there's a eucalyptus forest on Maui. It is absolutely awesome. If you go up country past Makawao, on the way down actually from Haleakala, there is a eucalyptus forest. I'm thinking it sounds like I might have pulled into the B&B. There are pine forests on upcountry Hawaii. That is cool. I think Jane's probably been to every island, you see. And that's one thing I haven't done. I have not been to every island. Scotty thinks on the Big Island. Yeah, and it's the diversity there is unreal. And there's so many climatic zones on one island. But like on Maui, there's an amazing eucalyptus forest. And when you're in that eucalyptus forest driving through it, you can smell it. And I do have a video of it here. I shot a video of it as we drove through the eucalyptus forest. It's pretty cool. You want to see this shirt? Check out the back of it. Can you see that? What is that? You see that? This one's from New York. And I'll tell you a story about this shirt. Last year, I think it was last year, I was out in the garden working, and this guy pulls in on a bicycle. 9 climatic zones. There you go, Scotty. Awesome. I was out in the garden working, and a guy pulls in on his bicycle. Young guy, maybe 20 years old. And he says, I think we're staying at your B&B. I says, okay, I don't know anything about it. You'd have to talk to Wendy. And then the rest of his family came, and they were all on bicycles. And I said, where are you guys from? They said, we're from Connecticut. And I says, well, that's pretty cool. And they says, wow, you're growing some pretty cool stuff there. I see a palm tree. I says, well, I'll give you a garden tour. Anyway, long story short, they ended up staying at a B&B down the road. They weren't at ours. It was a mistake, but they were on the north end of the island. And they loved the garden. And she sent us 2 shirts, 2 Terry Fox shirts, because she's a runner and she went in this Terry Fox run. So she got us these shirts from the Terry Fox run and sent them to us, which I thought was pretty cool. But if it's up to me, I would cut them all down with koa. Yeah. Koa wood. I love koa wood. Remember that, Jane? If you come across some koa seeds that you think are hardy, send them my way and I will send you something for it. I promise you that. I will send you something for those koa seeds. I'll send you something from Salt Spring Island you will really like. Okay? There's lots of neat things here on Salt Spring Island. I can't send you any seeds to Hawaii because it's very, very tricky to ever get live plants in. Better try eBay. Okay, well, I'm on eBay. I'm a buyer and seller on eBay, so I could try that. I could look on eBay. I buy and sell on eBay, but I'm mostly a seller. And matter of fact, I got a package going out tomorrow to Texas. 120 palm seeds and 25 sable cross Berzoriensis palm trees going to Texas. So I send a lot. I send a lot of stuff to Texas for some reason. You figure they would have enough palm trees in Texas. They don't need to order them from Canada. But I send a lot of stuff to Texas. And like I say, I've shipped to every state in the U.S. And a lot of it seems to like the Lone Star State for some strange reason. And there's so many palm trees there. You figure they'd have those palm trees there, but this guy wants them. I don't know what part of Texas is in. I'd have to look and see, but he's in Texas. So anyway, guys, I think koa trees look beautiful. Just search there. Like, yeah, They're beautiful trees, koa trees. And I really, now with Jane telling me about the hardiness of some of them, I think I'd like to try some. What do you think, Barry? A koa wood tree, do you think it would have a hope? And you know what? Here on our Pacific coast in the best microclimate, koa wood is a very hard, exotic wood native to Hawaii. And they make a lot of neat things out of koa wood, bowls, ukuleles, pens, koa wood watches, this, that, and the other. So I think I might have to try some. I'm going to have to look on eBay for some koa wood seeds, and it would be a nice BLE broadleaf evergreen. What's that?
We have some koa wood tiki.
No, we don't. We don't have any koa wood tiki.
Yeah, I do. I bought
Oh,
one.
yes.
I
Can you
do.
take that and put that in the fridge, please? You know what? Wendy actually does have koa wood
No.
tikis.
No.
I know Jane. Here, Wendy, take this. Yeah, Jane is obsessed with koa wood, just like we're obsessed with Tom. Wendy loves koa wood too, Jane. So Wendy's on the same page as you. And Wendy does actually have some koa wood tikis. One she bought in Maui and Lahaina, and one she bought in Oahu. The one from Lahaina, it was a guy from Tonga that lives there, was carving koa wood tikis. And then we have a monkey pod wood tiki too, I believe. And that one came from Oahu.
Well,
or is it no, the monkey pod wood is one of them is monkey pod. One's from Maui and one's from Oahu. I know next nothing about it's cool. Yeah, I'd have to look it up too. I'd have to look it up, Barry. Sweet. Well, it's a pretty cool tree then. So Jane says they actually don't have leaves when they mature. They have phylloidy. Jane knows lots about koa wood. I think Jane is a koa wood expert. That is pretty cool. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to definitely try one, but I'm going to have to research the exact cold hardiness, and it's probably going to have to be grown on to a decent size. Do you want me to boil some potatoes?
I am.
Wendy's on it. That's what I love about Wendy. She is on the ball.
I'm making dinner.
She's making dinner. Awesome. Well, I took her out for dinner yesterday. I went to A&W. I took her to one of the fanciest restaurants on the Big Island. It was actually brunch. It was around 11 o'clock, and then we head straight to Port Renfrew. I love A&W. You know, it's a treat to go to a fast food place every so often because we don't have them here. So when we're on the Big Island, I take her to A&W. She has an Uncle Burger. I have the Cajun chicken burger, and we had some poutine. Really bad for us, and she had a coffee, but it was all good. I am a koa expert due to pure obsession. You know what? That's awesome, Jane. So because of you, now I'm going to have to try some koa wood here on Salt Spring Island. And you know what? I think prime rib steak. Oh, that's hey Wendy, are those prime rib? Wendy's thinking.
I bought one of those massive steaks.
This is what Wendy does. She goes to Costco and buys a massive roast, and then she cuts steaks out of it. She slices steaks out of thick steaks. So what type of roast is a prime rib roast?
Yeah.
So she buys a prime rib roast. It was about $130, wasn't it?
Yeah.
About $130 for a big roast. And then she slices steaks out of them and freezes them. So so we are having prime rib tonight. Yeah. And she gives me a little one, and then she takes the big one.
It works out to about $7 a steak. Really
$7 a steak it works out to. She says, you will be the first to test them cold tolerant. Okay, I'm going to have to look on eBay when I'm off of this live stream shortly, and I will have to see if I can get some seeds. Yeah, so Wendy gives me a little piece of steak, and she says, this is yours, and mine has all the fat on it, and then she takes the big piece because she likes steak more than I do. She doesn't. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing you.
They don't know that.
They don't know that. She's smiling. She tries to make it even, but I think because she likes steak.
No, I always give you more.
She gives me. I'm a bigger eater, so she always gives me more.
But I like the crispy fat.
She likes the crispy fat on the steak. Like I don't like it. I don't like. I have this. That's my pet peeve. Fat around the edge of a steak. So I got to cut it all off, and then if it's crispy fat, I give it to her, and she puts that in her pie hole. And I don't really like
pie hole.
Banana cream pie hole. You know what I haven't had in a long time is a banana cream pie.
I make you lots of things.
I haven't had one in a long time.
It's not your birthday.
I need a banana cream pie. That's now that I mentioned it, I need a banana cream pie. So maybe there's somewhere in Tofino that sells banana cream pie.
We need one of those cheesecake places.
We need a cheesecake factory here.
Like the Oahu one.
Yeah. An opening in the forest and sunlight will buried koa seeds to sprout. Is that right, eh? Interesting. But I don't know about our forest, Jane, because we are at 48 degrees north latitude, and I think Hawaii is 26 degrees north latitude, right? Is it 26 degrees north latitude? Not 21. It's 26, correct? On the Tropic of Capricorn. I used to think nothing about eating a porterhouse steak back in my 20s.
Oh, don't they anymore?
As porterhouse steak, I used to go to the Keg in Langley and have a filet mignon or
T-bone.
no, an
Oh,
18-ounce prime rib. Wendy
Okay.
likes T-bone, but I do like filet mignon too.
So why doesn't this guy? Oh, I love meat.
Oh, no. Barry loves meat.
Oh, he does.
Oh, Barry likes meat. Yeah. They were huge porterhouse. You know what? I remember the name. Hey, do you remember Mr. Mike's Charbroiled Steakhouse? Mr. Mike's Steakhouse? That's where Wendy used to work back in the 70s.
Not like the
Did you work in the one in Vancouver?
No, Delta.
Wendy worked in the one in Delta. She worked at Mr. Mike's Steakhouse. Do you ever remember Mr. Mike's? I used to
Not
go
that
there.
good, though.
No,
The
but our
steaks are not
family would
that
go
good.
there when we were kids to the one on Granville Street. There was one on South Granville. And we used to go there, and I remember it very well. Mr. Mike's. They're not even. Oh no, they're around. There's one in Duncan.
One in Duncan. There's not very many.
I like it. I love it.
Whistler, the Keg, best meal ever I've ever did the steak and the crab.
Wendy was there last year in Whistler with her sister and her
oh
mom.
my God, it was $100 plate.
What?
It was the best.
You had $100 plate?
Oh my God.
She had
Yeah,
a
it was
$100
so
plate,
good.
but her mom paid
No,
for
my
it.
mom, it was a treat.
See, our speed is like McDonald's or A&W on the Big Island, which is a $13 plate per person.
It was, you know what? I hadn't had a Keg steak forever, and you know what?
Yeah.
It's still just as good as what it was. I mean, it was really good.
It was awesome. Mike's Burgers. Yeah, Mike's, Mr. Mike's. That's what Mr. Mike's
burger.
Steaks and garlic bread.
But
That's
the Mike burger was the big.
Yeah, Mr.
thing.
Mike Burger. Yeah, I remember the charbroiled steak.
It had a
Scotty, that's
special
what
sauce.
Scotty's saying.
Yeah, special sauce.
Yeah.
Kind of like a hoagie bun.
And Frazzo, Barry says the Mike's Burger. And that was around 1973, 74, 75. We would go there to the one in Granville, maybe 76. It was in the 70s, mid 70s. We'd go there when we were kids. And I used to love Mr.
It was like cafeteria stuff.
It was great.
You had a tray.
Yeah. So when did you make the burgers?
Yeah.
So Wendy made the burgers at Mr. Mike's. So when you're in Delta back in the 70s, that was Wendy serving your burger at Mr. Mike's. She's got 4 years, 3 months, and 23 days on me. So I'm a 10-year-old kid. And then I got this hot waitress bringing me some charbroiled steak burgers. I said, Mommy, Daddy, I like that waitress. Give her a big tip. And that was Wendy. She's blushing. Anyway, there's one over in Duncan. The R is silent. Duncan. There's one over in Duncan. And we went there one time, and I actually really liked it.
It wasn't that good.
No. And the flavor to me brought me back to 1974 when I was 10 years old eating a charbroiled steak or a Mike's burger. It was absolutely awesome. The location in Tawasin, Eric's Broiler Bar became, the location in Tawasin became Eric's Broiler Bar. See, Barry used to live in Tawasin. You know what, Barry? Wendy used to live in Tawasin too. Wendy also lived in Tawasin as well. And then she lived in White Rock for 23 years.
78 to... My parents lived there. Oh my God.
She lived there
in 78.
78. She moved to Tawasin in 78.
Yeah, graduated North Delta, and then my parents lived there till they retired at the coast.
Oh, really? So they lived there a long time. They lived there 20 years.
Quite a year. Yeah. Wow.
Her parents lived in Tawasin 20 years.
My kids were around 8 years old, and then they moved up to the.
Wow, cool. Yeah, Tawasin is a nice area, and if I lived on the mainland, I like Tawasin. I like White Rock, but I like Tawasin better than White Rock because I think Tawasin is a better climate than White Rock. Yeah. Crescent Beach is not a bad climate, but it's still better in Tawasin. Yeah. I think because Tawasin juts out a little bit more into the ocean than White Rock.
They're both beautiful.
So the location in Tawasin became Eric's Broiler. So is Eric's Broiler Bar good, Barry?
Does Barry remember the hole-in-one donuts?
Hey, Barry, do you remember hole-in-one donuts in Tawasin? Wendy used to work there too, in the mall.
And there was a vegetable.
You worked there, didn't you?
I did.
It's funny. Hillary worked at a donut place in the mall in Semiahmoo Mall.
Yeah. After I graduated, I worked there.
Yeah. So do you remember hole-in-one donuts?
Do you remember the hole-in-one donuts?
I don't. Okay, so that goes back. Barry's a young guy. He's not going to remember that.
Oh, how old is he?
Barry's not that old. See, Wendy's 60. And I'm 56, and Barry's got to be younger than us. I think Barry's around 40.
Okay.
So Barry's not going to remember any of that stuff, are you?
Yeah, no.
So anyway, let's just see. Hole-in-one donuts.
And they had the movie theater there.
Is the movie theater still? They had a movie theater in White Rock too.
There's
a couple movie theaters in White Rock. There's one on Johnson.
I think the one in Tawasin's gone.
Barry's nearly 61. What? You know what? That's right. So Wendy is going to be 61. She's going to be 61 December.
Oh, he's the same age.
Yeah, that's right too, because your birthday's in November.
59.
So Wendy's birthday's December 6th.
Oh, so he's the same age.
December 6th, she will be 61.
Wow.
So yours was November, right? Your end of November.
So where'd he go to school?
Hey, Macatac.
Did Barry go to school in Tawasin?
Movie theater is gone along with the
Yeah.
bowling alley. Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
bowling
alley
alley's
was
gone?
cool.
No
Tawasin.
way.
So
That's what Scotty
what
says.
school did he go
Hi,
to?
Mac Attack. Hey, Frazo,
In-
what school did you go to, Barry?
In
Did you grow up in Tawasin? Wendy went to North Delta.
Yeah. Did he go to Tawasin?
DSS Ladner. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, DSS Ladner.
Love Ladner.
DSS. Is that Delta Senior Secondary? Oh, Ladner. No, Wendy went to Delta. You went
North
to
Delta.
North Delta. Wendy went to North Delta. Mac Attack, hello. Wendy and Joe say hello back to Mac Attack. He's got the wrench in there. He's the moderator. He's got the blue name. See, his name shows up blue, and he's got a wrench beside it because he's a moderator. So if anybody fools around in here,
Big Macs?
Mac Attack. Maybe Mac Attack
Mac?
likes Big Macs. Do you like Big Macs? I haven't had one of those in a long time.
No.
Yes, on DSS. Okay, Delta Senior Secondary. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Right on. Interesting. Cool. Movie theater has gone along. Yeah, so it's changing. Things have changed.
Yeah.
Things have changed in Langley, White Rock, and Tawasin. Things have changed here on Salt Spring Island. It's getting busier, but there's still the development is more. Maybe I don't say there's a ton more people moving here because the population doesn't go up that much. Wendy's grad 77 as well.
Yep.
Grad 77, North Delta. I was going to say that the population really hasn't grown that much here.
No.
But it seems like there's more development.
I think what's happening, people are buying older properties and
He loves Big Macs.
That's what I want. Yeah.
He loves Big Macs. Okay.
It's okay. I like them too. Once in a while, I like A&W.
On Salt Spring, on Salt Spring Island, the development, but the population is really not growing. Our population is around 10,560, and it's been like that for a long time. Yes, it was less when I moved here a few decades ago, but I don't think it's gone up that much.
People are actually buying and fixing up.
Yeah, I think so. I think the populations might have gone up maybe 1,500 since I moved here.
Someone's building behind us right now because the concrete truck.
Yeah, I'm seeing concrete trucks go by a lot here. Today. I can't do the mix. Yeah, I don't. I rarely ever eat at McDonald's. I'm like, if I go to the main or the Big Island, I like A&W. My favorite burger is the Club Burger, Penny's Pantry. Oh yeah, Penny's Pantry. Yeah, that's Penny Jones. Penny runs that Penny's Pantry. My ex used to work at the other one when she was in town. My ex worked at the other one at you know where Penny's Pantry used to be, and then she moved. She used to be Jana's Bake Shop. So now Penny's Pantry is at the golf course, and she has some good burgers in there, and she's doing very well. Doing very, very well at Penny's Pantry. And Penny's a very nice. Yeah. Oh, passion flowers blooming. I got to go take a picture of that. Okay. Anyway, folks, you know what? I'm thinking I'm going to have to get out of here real soon. Do you need help with dinner?
No.
She says no. So I can stay in here a little bit longer. Wendy doesn't need any help. Steak doesn't take long. When I cook steak, it takes a long time. Salad. I like to cook my steak for about an hour on each side. And then when you eat that steak, it's like basically eating the bottom of your shoe. Leather, right? See, Wendy cooks it to perfection. Me, like I say, I throw the steak on, and then I'm the type of guy that gets sidetracked because I have ADD, and I'll go in to look at something in the garden, and I go, what's that burning? Smells like somebody's got a barbecue going. And that's my steaks on the barbecue that have been there an hour prior, and I go check them, and they're like little beef jerkies all dried up. And I said, Wendy, the steaks are ready. And you know what she says to me? You're not barbecuing steaks anymore, wise guy. Cheers, barbecue for me. I'm on the hook for supper. Well, nice. Adios. Take care, that? Barry up in Comox.
Hey, Barry.
So, Barry, have a good dinner and say hi to your wife. And Wendy, I'm off the hook because I took her out to a fancy restaurant yesterday, A&W and Duncan, and I took her out for a beautiful gourmet meal. I was going to take her through the drive-through, but we decided to eat on the beautiful concrete picnic table out front.
Dinner like once every 2 weeks.
I cook dinner once every 2 weeks, so it's all good. Cheers. Hello, Wendy from Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Nice 17-minute video. Oh, you like the video there, Mac Attack? That is from the Urban Botanist. The Urban Botanist, Emma in Ottawa. And apparently she's going to be possibly coming back to the coast in October. So if she is here in Vancouver, I told her to come and visit us on Salt Spring, and then we can tour around and show her some.
No, but I have a video coming out on the plant farm.
Oh, Wendy's got a really good video. Wendy's got a really good video coming out, a visit to the plant farm. We were there last weekend, and she edits everything and puts everything together, unlike my random, crappy, unedited raw videos with bloopers.
Do they want to see a long video?
Do you guys want to see a long video?
Or a couple, like about 6 short ones.
Do you want to see Wendy's long? No, I put them together. Would you
do.
rather Wendy upload 6 short videos, or she puts them all together into one
With
longer video
photos,
and edits them? What would you like?
photos.
Both videos are great. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay. I will.
Thanks, Alec. Yeah, would you like Wendy to do that? Put it all together in. He watches anything. Yeah, you're easy like me.
Okay.
It's like me. I'll grow any palm if it survives here.
Okay. 'Cause Jeff's, oh my
Jeff's
their
garden, you would be blown away. If you come to
and
Salt Spring
Morgan.
Island, you got to visit the plant farm. It is amazing. It is amazing
It's
garden.
both of them.
I watch anything, but I'd rather watch a long one. Okay, so Mac Attack.
Okay.
Okay, so Mac Attack's
I
the
might do a long
moderator.
one.
So because of Mac Attack, she's going to do a long one. So she'll edit it. She's got the editing program, and then she'll put a longer video on. So
Yeah.
Emma shot many videos here,
Same.
and she had this
Yeah.
big microphone and all that. And you can see shorter videos of her videotaping stuff in the garden on this channel. I shot many videos of
And on
Emma
Wendy's.
in this garden and on Wendy's channel. Wendy's got
Okay.
videos of
I
Emma
still haven't put them all on.
videotaping.
I've got like another 10 videos.
She's got another
of
10
Emma.
videos at least of Emma in our garden. So that's kind of the raw and unedited stuff of Emma walking around videotaping. But Emma edited everything, and her channel is growing, and that's a good thing. So Wendy will put that on her channel. When are you going to put it on? Next week?
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Wendy just hit over 1,000 subscribers this morning. She got up at about 3 in the morning, and she put on about 5 videos. And I don't know, I didn't watch them all yet, but I think she's up over 1,000 subs now, which is, or 1,000, not 1,000 subs. She's got a few thousand subs, but she's got 1,000 videos now. So way to go, Wendy. I kind of push her at it because a lot of times she procrastinates and she'll go like a couple of weeks without putting a video on. I says, Wendy, if you want to keep your viewers entertained, you have to put videos on. Yes, I put a lot of videos on. I may not get a ton of views, but I still like putting videos on. I mean, I do have videos on here with a lot of views, not a ton of views, but I think my most watched video is about 3.4 million views. And it's crazy because it's some dude climbing a coconut palm. Who would ever thought, right? It's some of the videos you shoot, you don't think you're going to get the views, and it's some dude climbing a coconut palm that's got 3.5 million views. And then I do have other videos on here, I think, with around 1 million views, but I don't know what they are off on the top of my head, but they're out there somewhere in YouTube land.
And I had a crazy chimp one.
Yeah, she had a crazy chimp one she shot in Honolulu Zoo, and that one's got close to 1 million views too. So yeah, so I'm good at uploading, and most of the time I like to shoot short videos, right? I shoot very short videos just because I don't have an editing program. I don't edit stuff, and it takes forever to shoot to upload a long video. So I did a video of me changing the oil in my Harley. That was a 10-minute or so video, and it took hours and hours and hours to upload that video. So I put it on before I went to bed, and when I got up in the morning, it was on. So that's why I shoot short videos, because they upload a lot faster. So if I shoot a video of 3 minutes long, it still takes over an hour to upload. Am I talking fast enough for you?
You just talked.
Wendy's laughing. She says, tone her down a notch.
No, I didn't.
She's laughing. She says, I talk too much.
No, you don't.
Wendy usually goes like this when I'm talking. She pulls down the blinds when we're in the car, and then I go like this, and I pull the blinds back up.
Yeah, a friend told us about that one.
Yeah, her friend. So anyway, Scotty's still in there. That's good.
That's
and
funny.
no, I think I'm pretty good at uploading videos, but they're maybe not the best videos. Thanks,
yes,
Scotty.
they're good. You're very
I like to do some random
entertaining.
stuff too. So the random stuff was actually in Tofino yesterday, or not Tofino, Port Renfrew. And you know what? We forgot to go to the Avatar Grove. I can't believe it. Like I said to Wendy, we got to go to the Avatar Grove when we're there. We totally forgot.
And you know what? That Penanuchukat, whatever.
Yeah. There's a resort.
That's where we were supposed to turn off, that Indian resort.
To the Avatar Grove?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, so if you're in Port Renfrew, go to the Avatar Grove. I could have shot a really cool video there, but I didn't because we didn't make it. And the beach was closed because there was a sick bear on the beach. And they closed the beach, so we couldn't go to the botanical beach. Once I get a garden at home, I'll start gardening channel and palms. Yeah, that's cool. Good for you, Alec. Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't have to upload videos. You can have a YouTube channel, and you can still watch and comment on other people's stuff too. And yeah, one day get a YouTube channel and start putting stuff on it. It's cool. Virginia Beach. Yeah, Virginia Beach is a good place to grow palm trees. Very good. And remember, check out Atlantic Avenue, or is Atlantic Boulevard. Atlantic Avenue in Virginia Beach is lined with sable palmetto and lots of Trachycarpus palm. See, Virginia Beach gets a lot of heat. They get a lot of heat in the summertime, and they even get winter heat. But believe it or not, Virginia Beach is classed as a Zone 8A, which I find totally hard to believe. I believe it's Zone 8A. No, 8B. I think it's 8B. And I find that totally hard to believe that it's a zone 8B. I think it's more like a zone 9A from what grows there. But I guess they're going on the all-time low temperatures at minus 3 degrees Fahrenheit. It has been down to minus 3 degrees Fahrenheit there. And the lowest temperature recorded here on Salt Spring is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's quite a bit of difference. The latitude is a lot lower, but they do get those heat units. And it is a place, Virginia Beach is a city overflowing with palm trees. So if you ever get a chance, watch some videos on Virginia Beach. I made a video about sea monkeys. Oh, I remember those things. Sea monkeys. I used to have comic books, and I still have comic books, okay, from when I was younger. And in the back of comic books, you'd open up the back page, and they sell a bunch of junk in there, right? And one of them always intrigued me was these sea monkeys, and they make it look like monkeys under the sea. What I found out, it was brine shrimp. They're these little microscopic little things that fish probably would like to eat. And they sell them as sea monkeys. So when you're a kid, you're thinking you get all these little pet monkeys that are going to float around an aquarium, and you got to look at them with a magnifying glass. They're about this big, and that's your sea monkeys. You dump this powder into your aquarium.
And they give them human faces.
They give them human faces, yeah. So I'll have to check out your sea monkey thing. They still get Arctic outflow. Yeah, they do. They do. They can get some cold weather in Virginia Beach. It does happen every so often. We don't get Arctic outflow winds here where we are on Salt Spring Island. We can get Arctic freezes every so often where you get that very cold Arctic air up in the Gulf of Alaska. And if the jet stream pulls it right down the coast, we can freeze our heinies off too, but we don't get cold wind. Not that bad. 10 Fahrenheit weak ones. Yeah, I've never had 10 Fahrenheit. The coldest temperature here is around, I think it was minus 11 degrees Celsius. If you look at my weather records ever on this north end of Salt Spring Island, like official weather records, the coldest temperature, so around 12 degrees, something like that. 10 degrees Fahrenheit is pretty cold. I've had that in Langley many times when I lived on the Pacific, when I lived on the mainland. 10 degrees Fahrenheit happened many winters over there, and I would lose a lot of things or get a lot of freeze-dried things because Arctic outflow winds would pound with that. So you got the 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is minus 12. You got cold easterly outflow winds blowing on your plants, and it freeze dries them. It desiccates the leaves really bad. Meanwhile, I'm hating Ontario winters minus 37. Mac attack. You got to move back to Salt Spring, buddy. You ever get a chance, move back to Salt Spring Island. Minus 37 degrees Celsius would probably kill just about everything on our island, including me. This would be my last live stream if it got to minus 37 degrees Celsius here. That is really cold. Last year we had 22.1 degrees Fahrenheit here was the coldest temperature in our garden, and that's about minus 5 degrees Celsius. And no wind, zero cold wind. We do not get any cold Arctic outflow easterly winds here at this location. But there are areas on Salt Spring that are up high that get cold winds in the wintertime, and that's why I wouldn't live up in those, like I'm talking 800, 900 feet above sea level. It can get pretty cold up there, right? And you can get some winds, but I do know of a really nice exotic garden that's about 700 feet above sea level, and there's huge camarops in there. There's big Trachycarpus palms and lots of evergreen oaks. And the Trachycarpus palms in there are actually ones that I grew from seed and gave this guy about 30 years ago, and they're all growing up in this garden. He planted them as seedlings, and they're big palms there now, and he's got eucalyptus trees, he's got magnolias, and he's got this and that and the other, and it's up about 700 on the side of this mountain, and it's at a level where you start to see native pine trees. He's got about 7 or 8 acres up there. He's passed away since his wife has it, but there's pine trees up there growing natively. He's got lots of arbutus. It's very rocky. He's got a big pomegranate. Like I said, he's got needle palm. He's got bottlebrush, grevilleas. I think the grevilleas are still there, big ones, and lots of evergreen oak trees, southern live oak, big ones growing in there. And a huge large leaf magnolia looks absolutely beautiful. It's a really cool garden. I have videos of it. He's got a huge Schefflera tree. Well, not huge, but a big enough tree, a Schefflera taiwaniana, growing there for many, many years. Looks very good in the garden. And we finally have one this year. We planted it late spring, early summer here. So anyway, folks, I tell you what, I'm going to back on out of here. I'm going to say take care and cheers. We have B&B guests just checking in. And if they get on the internet, it's going to screw me up. So I'm going to say take care, all of you out there. And I'm going to grab a little snack before Wendy barbecues that steak. And I'm going to go say hi to the B&B guests and maybe give them a garden tour. I'm going to waste an hour of their life. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to just say hi to them. So anyway, take care. See you, Scotty. And hopefully to see you soon. All right. Take care, Mac Attack, Alec, Jane out there in Hawaii, Barry, I know you're gone, H. Huss. Yeah. Stay safe out there, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm back to work tomorrow. And maybe this week I'll do a live stream. But when I'm over on the West Coast, Wendy suggests I do take my laptop. I can do a live stream from the far west coast of Vancouver Island, and I will upload some beautiful cordyline videos for you. There's some amazing cordyline australis over there. The biggest ones in Canada grow in Tofino, Ucluelet, and other areas along the Pacific coast of Canada because the winters are mild. I will go into an exotic garden and film a date palm for you, so you will see a Phoenix canariensis and tree ferns, and that same garden has a Norfolk Island pine in it, not the biggest, but it's been there for years. There's also Brahia edulis in the same garden, and lots of cool, funky stuff. All right, guys, cheers and aloha from Salt Spring Island, and thanks for tuning in. Stay safe.